everyone, it's Amber Spotted Elk at the Paper Owl. Thank you so much for watching today. We have 6 fun fall wreaths in store for you. Please, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. Comment below, let me know which wreath is your favorite. And if you'd like to become part of the Paper Owl family, please subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notified every single time that I upload. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hey everyone, so we're starting out with this wire wreath form. So this actually was a piece from a much larger wreath that ended up falling apart after a few years, an old Christmas wreath. So I took one of the metal rings that fell off from it, I spray painted it gold, and then I'm taking this bouquet. I actually got this floral bouquet from Walmart. I believe it was $5, but it is large. You can see how many pieces are here. And I love it. It's a great fall bouquet. It's got some berries in there. It's got like some red eucalyptus, and it's just a really pretty arrangement. I think it's called a heather bouquet or a fall bouquet. I'm not sure, one of those. And so I just kind of lay out how I want my pieces to go, and then I start gluing them on. Now I'm only doing half of this wreath, so it's going to be kind of like a spray, where it's got that kind of center point and then it sprays out on the sides. And so I'm gluing part of that down right now. And I'm just, because it's a wire wreath form, I'm just making sure that I have really good contact with the picks that I'm using and that I'm holding them there until the glue dries to make sure that it's got a nice good grip on there. And then once I do this other side here, then I'm going to take some twine from the Dollar Tree and just wrap it around the middle, and that secures most of those picks as well, but some of them are still only secured by the glue. So you know, if you do something like this where you're using a thin wreath form, just really make sure that you're taking your time to make sure that there is good contact there with the picks. Otherwise they will fall off if you're bumping them, or if you know someone walks by and it moves a little bit. So you're going to want to just make sure that it's nice and secure. So I'm just finishing up there. I absolutely love the way this is turning out. I love that half done wreath form with the sprays, whether it's on the side of a wreath or the bottom, even the top. I kind of like that look as well, where it's just kind of half done and you can still see part of the wreath. So here you see I'm doing the twine. I'm kind of doubling it or tripling it up actually, just to make it go a little bit faster, securing part of it down with hot glue, and then just really wrapping it tightly and making sure that I'm getting a lot of those picks secured in that middle part. This will also allow me to put my arrangement in the middle and have more of a base to glue down. So I'm taking these pomegranates. Now I had that little thankful sign as well, so that's something you could do here too. And then I also have a bow. You could put a bow in the middle there too. I decided on the pomegranates just because I like the way it looked, but if you have a little word sign, or you want to put a bow here, that would absolutely look adorable too. So these pomegranates are from the Dollar Tree. The 2 large ones came in picks by themselves, and then the smaller ones came in like a little bouquet of pomegranates. So I really loved these when I saw them. I think they're really good quality, especially those larger ones. I was really surprised actually at the quality of those large ones. And so I just put 2 large ones and then kind of scattered the smaller ones around on there. And so This is another reason I liked using that twine, because again, it gave me a good base to be able to glue those pomegranates on there. Whereas if it was just that metal wreath form, it would have been really hard to know that they were securely on there. And I don't know, I would have, if I would have felt safe otherwise. And then I'm kind of fluffing and zhuzhing up these leaves and just kind of gluing a couple of the tips down just to make it look a little bit nicer, so that there's not a whole bunch of like the back of the leaves showing, but still trying to make it look natural. I don't want anything to look like I've glued it in place necessarily. So I still wanted it to look really natural. Absolutely love the way this turned out. And it is large. You can see how large that is. I believe it's like 24 inches across, something like that. So you could also use like a Dollar Tree hula hoop for this would work really well. Next up, I've got this, I think this is a wreath from the Dollar Tree. I can't remember. A grapevine wreath is what this is, I believe. I've had this for a while. It's been pretty beat up. I had actually put some twine around there originally to hold it together, because it's gone through so many different seasons and so many different wreaths. And so I've actually got that twine on there to secure it all in place. Now, because it is getting pretty tattered, I decide to take this jute cord. This is actually from Walmart. You actually get a really good size amount on that spool for like $5, I think. Here I'm lighting it with a lighter to clean up all of those little hairs and stuff. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of the camera angle there. I did not realize that. But anyway, I am just lighting that with the lighter to clean that up. It gives it a much more polished look. This little wood piece I did get from the Dollar Tree. I'm just taking some umber paint with water to use as my stain for this wood piece. I really like the way that that looks. I've really been loving that mixture to use as kind of a faux stain. I did get my stain out the other day and stain a couple things, and the smell is just so strong. It really just gives me a headache. Even if I'm outside, when you're working with it, you're still just right there. So anyway, I really love this faux stain with the brown paint and water mixture, and you can really, make it as dark or light as you want. I got this welcome sign from the dollar spot at Target, and it was only $1. And it's actually little wood pieces, and then it has kind of a light blue plaid decoration on the letters, which you can't really see on camera, but you'll see it when we show the final pictures a little bit better. And so I'm laying out the picture, I'm laying out the letters to see how I want them spaced out. There is an adhesive on the back of these, but I am hot gluing it just to make sure that they are nice and secure. Again, I don't want these to fall off if that adhesive starts to wear out. So I thought this looked super cute. Now, I am only actually using 2 slats on there, if you can see that. So I end up sawing off the top and the bottom slats. I feel like it just made it fit a little bit better, a little bit nicer. And I actually just used my hand saw from the Dollar Tree, and I was able to saw through each of those parts in 10 saws back and forth or whatever. I don't know how to say that. It didn't take much is what I'm trying to say. So you can see I've just got the 2 slats there now where the welcome sits. I love that. I'm really glad that I did that. And I actually end up using those other 2 pieces here in a later part of the video. So I'm using these hydrangeas from the Dollar Tree, and these are the green and then like the bluish purple. I wanted to do a little bit more of an alternative to the natural fall colors on this wreath, and I really love the way that this turned out. my inspiration was that pick from the Dollar Tree with the white pumpkin and the blue leaves and the blue and green berries on that one single pick. I just absolutely love that pick. And so that's kind of the centerpiece to this wreath. And I just love it. It's so cute. It's just adorable. And I love the alternative fall colors. I've been really liking that this year. I still love the traditional fall colors. I always will. I don't know that I could ever go a fall without using some traditional fall colors, but I really do like some of these non-traditional colors as well. And, you know, kind of decorating a couple spots in my house a little bit differently than those traditional colors. So you can see again, I'm doing half of the wreath. I'm doing the bottom half here. And I I just love the way this looks. So I'm sorry if you guys don't like that half done wreath aesthetic, but I am just really digging it this year. So I'm still gonna do some full wreath forms, but I really love the way it looks. I think it gives more of a direction for the florals, and it really gives them a focal point versus having them all over the wreath form. So I put a couple more small pumpkins that were from the Dollar Tree as well, so that there's 3 little pumpkins there. I felt like that looked a little bit better than just having the single pumpkin by itself. And then I actually cut up the berries because I only had one string of berries. I cut them up and evened them out on both sides so that I didn't have to have berries just on one side of that floral arrangement. I'm topping this off with a ribbon and I just loop it around. I hot glue it kind of right at the top there, just enough so that I can still move it around if it ends up getting like uneven or anything like that. And then I do another little bit of hot glue so that there's an actual loop there that it can hang from. Now, this wreath, you guys, is so simple, so easy. So this is a Dollar Tree wreath form, and I had actually already taken one of the rings out for another project. And so I'm using the larger outer ring. I'm taking this Pitberry. Dollar Tree carries this year, which is so awesome. Unfortunately, my stores did not carry any of the fall colors. They actually got some in for Christmas, which I was really excited about, but Hobby Lobby was carrying 12 feet of this for $3, and then I got it for 50% off, so it was $1.50. So I paid 50 cents more and got 3 feet more. So it was really, very comparable. And you can see I'm just taking this and I'm wrapping it around that wire, and I am just wrapping until I like the way that it looks. So you could go as little or as full as you want to with this. And I love this. I love the simplicity. I love the minimalist idea behind this, and I love that it can go for seriously any season depending on how you hang it up. So I'm using this farmhouse ribbon from the Dollar Tree, but you can see I use some fall ribbon and then this Christmas ribbon. So by changing the ribbon you hang this up with can really determine how it's going to look for that season. So I just decided on this neutral farmhouse ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I've really been loving this ribbon. I'm so glad that I found some. And I am burning the edges of the ribbon to make sure that it doesn't fray. Burning your twine and the edges of your ribbon really does make a difference. If you are afraid, you can always have like a little cup of water nearby or something like that, but it's really just barely touching that flame to the burlap and to the ribbon to make sure that it doesn't fray, and then to clean up those hairs on the burlap. So I definitely recommend it. And again, I'm just creating that loop and then another loop so that it has a spot to hang from, and isn't getting twisted where it hangs. So I am so happy with this. It's so easy. I love that anyone can do this. You don't have to have any sort of amazing vision in your mind about crafts that you're going to do or anything like that. You're just wrapping this around a wire wreath form, and that's it. There's no worrying about placement or arrangements or anything like that. And I love that about this piece, and it turned out so cute. This I got for 50 cents at the Dollar Tree. You can see it's broken, so I got it for 50 cents, which is amazing. This ribbon was on clearance as well from Walmart. It is a nice bright yellow burlap. So and so it goes well with the fall colors. We'll be covering most of it up for this wreath, but it still looks good peeking through in a few spots. I wanted to make sure that there's a good base on the wreath so that if there are spots peeking through, you're not going to see that green foam. I tried to kind of hot glue where that wreath was broken, but it really wasn't working out. So I just made sure that the burlap was wrapped very tightly around there. It was pretty much staying in place already just because of the way the wreath form is, so it didn't really matter that it was broken that much. So I was happy to pay half price for that. So you can see, again, I'm just pulling this around. I'm going back, making sure that it's nice and snug, and I really just hot glued a couple places. You don't need to hot glue every single time that you go around. So I highly recommend covering your wreath forms if they are, a metal or a foam or something like that, that you can see when you're making your wreath. If it's already like a wood background, then it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going through my leaves here. I am just kind of throwing them on here, seeing what I like, and just, taking whatever's there. And I like the way that this looks, and I was going to keep that. And there's some flowers. I thought about using those as well. I end up kind of going through my gallon size bag of leaves that I have. I don't know why I have so many leaves. It's ridiculous. But I end up going through and getting more of the red tone colors and kind of focusing on more of those reds and those maroons and making the wreath more out of those colors, and still just laying them kind of as if the leaves had fallen from a tree and just landed on this wreath. No necessarily not necessarily in a pattern or anything like that. So you can see I've got mainly the reds and the maroons now, and I'm just going through and covering up the spaces as I go along, and I'm happy with the change of using just the reds. Like I said, I really like having the hodgepodge of different colors and all of that, but I really like this kind of single tone style of wreath, especially with that kind of bright yellow background to contrast it. It really adds some depth and texture. I like putting the leaves in all different directions so you can see they're kind of poking up here and there, giving that look that they are just fallen and you know, every which way. You could definitely put these kind of all in order and all in the same direction and have them kind of fan around. That could look really nice too. This is just something that I wanted to do. So I made these little acorns, and they're actually from little Easter eggs that I got from Hobby Lobby, a bag of them for 15 cents. Yes, you heard me, 15 cents. So amazing. I painted them with just the apple barrel paint in umber, and then I took a pine cone, I broke it down and just put it at the top of those Easter eggs to make these little pine cones. And then I put some berries in there, and I decided I wanted to have 3 pine cones there. It's usually better to work in odd numbers when you're doing things like that. So 3, 5, that sort of thing. Here's another one of those signs from Target's Dollar Spot. This one says home. It was originally in a dark brown wood color, so I actually painted it white, just with some Waverly white chalk paint, just to make it pop more off of that. So those are those 2 pieces I cut off from that other sign, and I just glued them together. It stayed really well. And again, I glued those home letters down too. You can see the O is a cute little pumpkin. I glued that down at the bottom. And then I wanted to put a bow on here, and I was gonna put it at the top where I put my hanging element, and I decided it just didn't quite look right. I think it wasn't the right size. It was too small. So I put it at the corner of my home sign, and I'm really happy with that decision. So if you want to get a little bit of a larger bow and put it at the top, I think that would look really cute as well. But I just took some thin twine, I knotted it twice so it has that nice hanging element again. I took this fall ribbon from the Dollar Tree, which is super cute. It's got those oranges and the reds. I just dovetail the ends where you cut the little triangle diagonal piece out the middle. It just makes it look a little bit nicer. Hot glue that on the corner, and that's it. So here is an 18, oh my goodness, I cannot speak. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. So this is an 18-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I had some burlap on it already, but it was looking a little bit tattered. It had some hot glue chunks on it, so I took that wrap from the Dollar Tree and just rewrapped it over it. And because I'm gonna have part of this wreath form showing, I wanted it to look nice. And so I'm taking some of this wheat from the Dollar Tree. I had about 6 of those bunches, and I'm laying it out. I even cut it up and then lay it out to see how I like it. It wasn't working for me. I remembered I had got this actual dried wheat, and I got it from the grocery store, and it was only $3 a bundle. So it was actually the same price as the wheat from the Dollar Tree. And I love this look. So just remember, you guys, like, you don't always have to buy things from the Dollar Tree or you know, what have you, to find good deals. Like, you can find good deals at other places. And like, I only bought 2 packs of this, and it was probably even more than what was in those 6 bunches from the Dollar Tree. So you can definitely get more bang from your buck if you're looking in the right places and you just keep your eyes open. So here I'm just laying it out how I want it. Again, I'm doing that kind of, I'm doing just half of the wreath. This is going to be the bottom half. And so with that burlap, I was able to just tuck those wheat pieces in the holes of the burlap, which I really love, because then once I'm done with this, I can reuse this wreath form for other things, and save on my supplies, which I absolutely love doing. And so I ended up just cutting down the stems of this wheat so that there's just a little bit there so that I could fit it in those burlap holes, and it stayed nice and secure. I ended up hot gluing just a couple of the pieces down that were wanting to kind of be a little bit astray, but literally only 2 or 3 pieces I had to glue down. So what I really like about this as well is that I'm able to place everything, see how it looks, and then kind of rearrange and add things and move things around if I feel like there's a bare spot or a spot that could look a little bit better. So I really love that I was able to do it that way versus just hot gluing it down and staying committed to where it's at. And I took these little cotton bouquets from the Dollar Tree. These are great quality. So these picks from the Dollar Tree only have one cotton ball, and then they have a cattail and a pine cone attached to them. So I take 2 of those, and then I take a couple of these cotton balls that I got from Hobby Lobby. They were on sale for $2.50, and I think I got 24 cotton balls in there. And so they're not cotton balls, they're cotton, just cotton. I don't know what you call them. So anyway, I lay out how I want them, and I end up laying out the pine cone and the cattail kind of crisscross and tying some twine around there. So you can see that's what I did there. Again, so it has a nice attachment to the wreath form, and it just I feel like it gives it just a cleaner look. And then I'm able to kind of fan out those pieces because they're still on the metal pick form, and kind of move them around a little bit and make sure that I really like the placement. So you can see that's what I did there. And then I put 5, so again an odd number of these cotton balls in the middle. And I don't know why I'm calling them cotton balls. They're not cotton balls. These little cotton fluffs in the middle, and I just love this. It's kind of that like rustic, neutral, just a gorgeous look. I really love this with the natural elements, the real cotton, the pine cones, the wheat. The cattails aren't real, but they look nice. This wreath form I actually got at a garage sale for $2, and it is in great condition. It looks like it was never used. So and I'm taking another one of these bouquets from Walmart. Again, I think that it's the Heather bouquet, something like that. And I really love this. And actually, I had already used a couple pieces off of this, so this isn't even the full bouquet. Like, it was such a large amount of items for $5. Like, I'm so happy with it. Walmart has really good florals. If you haven't checked them out, definitely do that. And I got this large sunflower with that sequence gold in the middle from the Dollar Tree, and it's got a clip on it. I love these type of wreaths because you're able to just put the stems in there. You don't have to hot glue, and that sunflower is great because it has a clip on it, so I didn't even have to glue that down. I really just laid these out, cut off a piece of nautical rope for my hanging element, and that's it. This wreath took like 5 minutes, you guys. Like, what's nice about using one of those big floral bouquets is that it does the work for you. So here is our large wire gold wreath form. I love this so much. I hope you guys love it too. Again, you could do anything in that middle piece where I have that pomegranate bunch. You could do a bow. You could do a little wood sign. You could do one of those metal words from the Dollar Tree. Like, I just think this turned out gorgeous. Like, she is stunning. That red eucalyptus, the pomegranates, it is just speaking to my soul. Like I love this wreath so much. And that wire ring wreath form is definitely trendy right now. You see that all over the place. Here's our welcome sign one. I love this. It's super cute. I'm so glad I was able to give life to that old wreath form again. Use these non-traditional fall colors. Super happy with this, and such a good deal. Such a good deal. So cute. And oh my gosh, this is so simple and turns out so beautiful. And like I said, to be able to use just a different type of ribbon and have it work for whatever season you want. Here is our home wreath sign. This turned out so adorable. I love those pine cones. I love the red. I love the word. This one is just super cute. Turned out great. So easy. And this one, he is stunning with those cotton fluffs and that real wheat. That real wheat was just, it was so much easier to work with than I thought it was. It's just, I love this rustic, natural feel for fall. I'm just so in love with this wreath. I'm so excited to have it up. And then lastly, our super easy wreath form with that beautiful sunflower in the middle. You can just see those gold sequins sparkling. You guys, please comment below. Let me know which wreath is your favorite. I would really like to know because I've got a couple in here. So please let me know which is your favorite. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and happy crafting.